Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Soul Freedom Journeys, podcast number 9. Byron Nifakis here with my lovely sismana, Giselle.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, my Romano. Yes, today we have prepared some special things for you because we already have given you the 6 soul-based keys for freedom that we encourage you to apply in any situation in your life. And the other day, Byron and I, we were talking about what are the challenges that business people face, entrepreneurs face, because we have been in this for decades already, and we have seen patterns, some of the top challenges that we can actually pull. What do you say, Byron, about that?
And I was very inspired because, as a trainer in project management, I am confronted with this idea of entrepreneurship on a daily basis. And in particular, when organizations run projects, they very often want the project to be profitable. It's not like, oh, I do the project to just keep the customer happy, but I make no money. And then I'll milk the customer after that for the support and the maintenance on the solution that I've given them. Like, for example, if a company is providing software, sure, they could sell the software very cheap and have a project to install the software where they don't make any money. But then after that, they're going to charge the customer monthly license fees, which are going to be really exorbitant. So, that's one model that doesn't really make customers feel very happy because they feel like they're taken for a ride. So the point is, you want a project to be profitable. And if the project is going to be profitable, then you have to have a skill set that is going to manage every aspect of the project so that it makes a profit. And it just so happens that the skills that you need to make a profitable project are very, very close to the skills that an entrepreneur needs. An entrepreneur is going to need those skills to overcome the challenges of setting up something from scratch and moving through all of the constraints, the regulations, and the people challenges of getting the idea into reality. And that's why, when we look at the challenges of an entrepreneur, they're very much closely related to the challenges that a project manager faces to deliver something. So therefore, from that list, we have, from all the challenges that could come up, we've created a list which is going to be very, very effective in helping you, the viewers and listeners, to make progress in the way you are running your business. And if you're in the stage of launching a new product or even a new part of your business, we believe these discussions we're going to have are going to help you a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because the whole purpose of being here with you, our wonderful viewer, listener, is so that we can be of service to you by contributing. And challenges are just part of life. Challenges are beautiful. It just depends on how we approach them and what we do with them, the kind of attitude that we take on them, and etc., etc., etc. So we will not give you the whole list, but I'm just going to mention some of them. For example, challenge. One of the challenges, stakeholder management. Another challenge is effectiveness, personal and professional effectiveness. Another big challenge is communication, how you run your team, how you run even yourself with other people, suppliers, etc. Another one, I actually laughed when Byron told me about this, is organizational HDHD. I'm like, what? But yeah, it happens, right? Then we have team sabotage. We have unresolved personal issues that actually spill over your business. That's a big one. And I've seen that so many times during therapy workshops and classes. I mean, something that is not resolved in your personal life, sooner or later, will show up. It has to show up because life is telling you, hey, if you didn't resolve it here, how about you resolve it here? But then this one, when you have to resolve it in your business, it may actually be very costly. So might as well just, do the work at your personal level. Another one is systems. Then we have incel. This has to do about relationships, involuntary celibate. Like, scratching your head. What does that have to do with business? Well, to think about. We would love to read your comments. Another thing that we have is intimacy in business, handling ex-partners. What do you say about this one? This is another big challenge, isn't it, Byron?
It is. Ex-partners can be spouses, can be business partners, and the more complicated one is spouses that were business partners.
Yeah. It could be messy. However, that mess can be translated, can be transformed into something beautiful, at least at the first, level, to be amicable and peaceful with each other, right? And then we also have another challenge, which is morality and values. I mean, we have actually months worth of content just by putting these challenges and the solutions together for you. So we would love to hear actually from you, as in from what we have mentioned, what will be something that you will say, oh, I want to hear about this first. Yeah.
Prioritizing the message. I think it's important because, we brainstormed those topics and they came out in the order that they came out. However, you might want to focus on something more as a priority because you're dealing with it right now, or it's something that you have been dealing for a long time and don't have resolution yet.
Yes, that's right. And another good thing that we will be implementing through these B-blog podcasts is interviews. Yeah. So we want to have some wonderful people also coming to give you their experience, feedback based on, X number of years of experience that they have. And we think that will be very valuable. So we're going to bring experts to the soul freedom journeys. Yay.
Now, you may be listening to this going, but I'm also a valuable contributor. I also have things to share. Yes, I am confident that the people that are listening to this right now have something that they can share with others. So if you feel that's you, please send us a private message and we will discuss how we can include you into our broadcast.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know, because after all, we are within a community. This is about community. This is about supporting each other. This is about being there for each other. So at least, Byron and myself, we know each other for a very long time, probably 20 years.
It'll be 20 years next year.
Yeah. It's like, wow. And it's just gone like that so fast. And Byron, I can say he's one of my best friends. He's my soul brother. That's why I call him Bromano. And he's one of the persons that he's always been there, a very solid support from the beginning. And I really do appreciate that. To find someone like that, it's precious. We want to be that person for you, or people for you. Yeah.
I want to come back to the challenges. So first of all, thank you so much for that praise. It's very much appreciated. Coming back to the challenges, as you were reading them, it dawned on me that some of those topics are interwoven. In fact, I would say a lot of them are interwoven.
Well, actually, I prepared something for you. I want to share this. And if you are listening to the podcast and you don't get the visual, well, come to the video so you get to see this. I'm showing this piece of art. It's a cinto. This is something that the local people from TAQUILE Island, these are the native people who live in Lake Titicaca, TAQUILE Island. By the way, they are one of the few ethnic groups that didn't have any contact with the Spanish when they invaded Peru. So they kept their culture, traditions intact until they came in contact with Peruvians in recent years. No more than I will say 60 years. Their handcraft in the form of tapestry has been recognized by UNESCO.
Oh.
So, and you can actually see that it's so perfect, back and front, there is no imperfections. And the reason why I thought, okay, I'll come and bring this and show you this, because as Byron said, the keys that we have shared, the topics that we are about to share also in terms of, challenge and solutions, they are like threads that you put together and then you can actually weave with them. Mm-hmm. And I was actually, before we came to Byron and I, we started recording, I was mentioning to Byron how in the ancient cultures, not just across the Americas, but also everywhere in the world, ancient cultures have this theme about weaving ourselves. We interweave. We are part of this tapestry called humanity. So then you can think of yourself as a thread. And if you look at this cinto, it's made of, safely can say, hundreds and hundreds of threads. Mm. This beautiful piece.
The symmetry and the perfection of it just astounds me. It's like you can see this like straight line going across, and how do you even do that by hand? It's just amazing.
It is handmade, and the thing is that all these threads, they are put together one by one with such level of intention and mastery. That's how actually they get to create, people in Taquile, they get to create these really exquisite textiles. Mm. Not just tapestries, but textiles, anything that they do. Among the Taquile people, they have this requirement that if a man wants to get married, he has to learn how to knit first.
Oh, really?
Yes. And when the man wants to go and ask the hand of his love, he has to present one of his best pieces. Mm. Yeah. And then her parents will decide whether he is good material for husband or not. That's how it works.
That's impressive.
Yes. So everyone in Taquile Island, they are very skillful. Their handcraft is just really very, very stunning. And I had the good fortune to have visited that island several times. I do have a family, an adopted family there. And going back there is like really going back home. But then being very fortunate to have been able to absorb their culture in by interacting and staying with them, homestaying with them. Mm. So the reason why we're bringing this to you is because through this B-blog/podcast, we also want to bring back the ancient wisdom that we have. As humanity, we have so much richness, and because of the, our modern society, love to have the latest and the greatest and the best and the biggest and, the more decorated stuff. But then, however, by doing that, something that it's very important and very precious, it's almost being put aside or forgotten, which is ancient wisdom. Mm-hmm. And remember that in one of the conversations with Byron at the beginning, before we started recording these videos, we were in total agreement that among ourselves, because of our culture background, we also have a lot of ancient wisdom embedded in us. Byron has, like the Greek wisdom and the Egyptian wisdom.
Yes.
So, and then myself being born in Peru, I've been in touch with the ancient Inca culture, the ancient wisdom, and then also traveling around the world, like I've been also interacting with wisdom keepers from different parts of the world, especially the Americas. And so then we want to bring that in Japan as well.
Yes, please. I was going to say Japan. I know it's not it's not that ancient of a civilization, but still, there's quite a lot that has come from there.
Yes. So we want to bring this to you. So we would love to hear, as in, from the challenges. What is the challenge that you're facing? Like say your top 3 or 4 challenges that you're facing, and you would love to have some insights, some keys to create solutions, effective solutions for that challenge. So do let us know. Yeah,
Yes.
look forward to hear from you.
Yeah, because we can only guess, where your challenges lie, and the list that we came out with are common ones that every entrepreneur faces. However, you probably have your own spin on that. Like, for example, for stakeholder management, I mean, that's such a broad topic. For some organizations, their biggest challenge is managing the stakeholders outside of their organization, so their clients or their vendors or their suppliers. And for others, it's the opposite. The relationship with the outside is fine. It's managing the people on the inside that is difficult. Either the employees, communication with people that are of different generations or that have different expectations. And you may have all kinds of specific challenges like that within the stakeholder realm.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to hear from you.
Yes. And just to wrap up, I'm actually bringing this cinto back to you. Actually, this cinto is used in the middle part of the body. Like in TAQUILE Island, everyone wears this. It's almost like a corset. And this is actually to keep yourself straight so you can take care of your spinal health. TAQUILE Island surprised me, actually, the people from TAQUILE Island, because when I visited, I didn't find any person that was sick. A lot of these modern days so-called illness doesn't exist there. And they are very conscious about keeping themselves happy, fulfilled. You don't find any person in TAQUILE Island who is not laborious. They are doing something from the smallest child. They will be assigned a task according to their age. Now, I remember in one of the trips that I organized for CEOs from Japan, I took a group there, and we were all in awe with a 5-year-old. Because as part of the activities, I organized potato harvesting in TAQUILE Island. So you can imagine all these Japanese CEOs dressed up in the local costumes, harvesting potatoes. And there was this little guy, 5-year-old. He was using this tool to dig out the potatoes. So skillful, the 5-year-old. And he was fast and efficient. He was very efficient. Yeah.
And I imagine he must have been having fun, because a 5-year-old wouldn't necessarily enjoy doing that.
Yeah, it was
unless
like
he was having fun.
Game. It was like a game for him. So then that harvesting potato activity was life transforming for them, because they could see life from a different angle, value from a different angle, because these are all businessmen. And I remember actually one of them, as an anecdote, actually, I can share. We visit another island. It's called Uros Island, and it's a reed island. It's man-made, but people from the Uros Island, they have lived there for over 5,000 years that way. So they kept the tradition. And one of these Japanese businessmen was very interested in buying the island. He was very persuasive, very, very insistent. And the locals were just telling him, did you hear that we are not interested? And then he will just come up with all these ideas. Oh, what if because they said very politely, they say, we do not sell any piece of these islands. These are many islands, the Uros Island. We don't sell it to anyone who's not local. And then he said, oh, well, what about if I marry one of your women? Then I become a local. And then they still say no. So then this is the thing, for in the Western world. I mean, Japan has been westernized, right? Even though it's an Asian country. So there is this idea that money can buy everything or anything.
Mm.
But for these local people, that hold their ancient traditions, money is not everything. So then you have a very contrasting way of seeing how life works. Yeah. So it was quite interesting.
I find that fascinating that you're saying that it's a 5,000-year-old culture, because everybody keeps saying that, oh, the Chinese, they're the oldest culture, 5,000 years. But it's surprising to find other societies outside of Asia that have that kind of long life. Yeah.
Yes. Well, in the Americas, you find also people, for example, in Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
the Cogis, that they live in the sacred mountains of Santa Marta. It's called Sierra Nevada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are also a group, an ethnic group that they only have opened up to the modern world around the 60s, 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
They were hiding. And they're very, very ancient.
Yeah. Also 5,000 years or more even.
Yes. They are earth keepers. And you will find different tribes along, the mountainous area, the Amazon, even in the desert area. Yeah. But they are earth keepers, wisdom keepers. Yeah. So we'd love to share more about that because it's very fascinating. We can actually learn a lot from them, as in how to take care of one another, how to do business that are sensible and profitable, not from the greed side. However, from it just becomes profitable naturally because you're doing something really wonderful.
Yeah.
As a business person. That's what we want to share with you here in this channel. Okay, so we're about to wrap up. Byron, do you want to share something? Any reflections for our beautiful community, viewers, listeners?
Yes, I want to challenge all of you to either look at your businesses or look at what you're doing, what your current endeavor, and reflect on how is my business profitable? Like, what are the elements that make my business profitable? What are the elements that make my venture profitable? And from there, you probably realize that there's challenges with those things. So, for example, if your business is profitable because you have a product that nobody else has or that creates a differentiation in the market, well, how did you get to that? Like, how did you arrive at that successful product? You must have had to work with people that were innovative. And what were the challenges in working with them? So you'll quickly see that the keys to your success also are the challenges that you've managed to work through. So reflect on that, and that's going to add also to the richness of the conversation that's coming up. And of course, don't keep it for yourself. Man. Please comment.
Yes.
type it so that we know what was the reflection that you had, so that we can leverage from there.
Yes. Thank you so much for that, my dear Romano. And thank you, wonderful viewer, for being here with us, being part of our community. And thank you for sharing the video with those that you know will appreciate it. And thank you for giving it a thumbs up. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and like, share. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how we continue growing in this wonderful community. So thank you so much. And we will see you on our next episode.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.